You'd think that that apparatus I have on my head would clue people in that I can't hear them, but no, they still, you know, try to get me to hear them. I've never had anyone like, well, I've never had any guy come up and try to take my headphones off to say something because what they have to say to me is so important. But I've had a few women do that because they think they're being cute. Like, oh, hey, and then they'll ask me some kind of tourist question. But whatever, it's, you know, I see what they're doing. It's not like they don't think they're doing anything wrong by doing that, but it does happen. But as far as like the regular kind of situation, it's way more improved when you have them on. It's way more improved because a lot of people kind of want to interact, you know, and a lot of those people only try to do the verbal thing, usually as, you know, you're walking by or you're a little bit ahead. It's depending on what they're saying to you. If they're just trying to get your attention for something, then they'll start doing it when they see you. If they want to just try to slip in something derogatory, they wait for you to kind of be walking away, which I always stop for, you know, as a detail here. Not maybe the best idea, because you never know with some of the people. You have no idea. But yeah, so that's when they try to do it, like a few times. So when I have these on, and then there are people that just don't understand. Like they see it, and they see the thing, but they don't put it together in their head, so they just talk like normal. But it gives me an out, you know. A lot, you get a lot of well, I do. I shouldn't say you get. If people are going to try to get your attention, a lot of times they're trying to call you over for something. And usually it's like a cigarette or something, or, you know, whatever. But when you have these things on, I have plausible deniability. Most of the time, if not, you know, well, not all the time, but most of the time, including now, I ain't listening to anything. It's rare that I do because I want to be able to hear what's going on around me. You know, I'm not trying to tune out and give someone the advantage, but by the same token, you know, it's a security system adjustment. The security system I have in my head gets a bit of an adjustment. I'm still going to see you a block away. I'll see you up to a block away. Even though I can actually see the sun better than I can see you a block away. And the sun is allegedly millions of miles away, but I can see it perfectly. So it's like, wow, my eyes, I guess, are pretty good. Not bad for someone who used to wear glasses, you know? Oh yeah, that's another thing that happened. I don't think I ever talked about that. After I came into this world, you know, the understanding of some kind of spiritual struggle, you know. A lot of things happened that I kind of forgot, not forgot about, but they happened over time in weird ways. One of them was that, yeah, this story is going to sound fucking insane, but you know, whatever. I just did that angel story a couple weeks ago. I think I've already established my fucking so my eyes had been gutting. My eyes had gotten pretty bad when I first moved here. They were probably at the worst they'd been. The worst they'd been. The worst they have been. I don't have the I just woke up excuse. Oh, I know what's wrong. Okay, don't worry about it. Well, there's nothing wrong. It's just I know what's altering states here. But anyway, the idea. Oh, hold on a second. This is quality shit, huh? I'm having a lot of problems over here. I'm trying to light this cigarette and just get it in my mouth. I need it as protection. Actually, I'm probably not taking advantage of all the things I could do out here by smoking, as far as outside the box kind of concept thinking. So anyway, getting back to the eye thing. Wow, I just fucking zoned out there for 45 seconds. This is pro shit. I put 1,000 of the 10,000 hours already into this. Can you see the quality difference? So I couldn't see, basically. You know, they told me at the time when well, no, I don't want to say that. That's hyperbolic. My eyes are really bad. They told me that I would probably need bifocals. And they took these tests and all this shit. And she said, yeah, the next level we were going to put you on is bifocals. That was pretty crazy to me. There was just a lot of blurriness at that time. Like, people would be blurry if they were just too far away. I think that's called, is that nearsighted or farsighted? Whatever, it's one of the two. So, I had that going on. And it's just whenever I'd look up the street, things would just start blurring out. So, because it's Hawaii, it took about, Jesus, a year to get my glasses. You know, maybe a little bit longer, maybe like 14 months, if I'm gonna get this as close as possible. I got the glasses, right? But by the time I got them, all the problems seeing cleared up to a point where I could see fine, everything. When I put the glasses on, oh my god, it was like a fun house when I put those things on. I was standing at the sink, right? I still have them, and I put them on, and like the sink went concave in front of me. It just, the bottom of my eye line turned into like everything midget, and the top part of my eye line was like stretched out. It was like a fun house. These were the glasses I had. If that gives you an idea of what happened with my eyes. So now I see fine. And in that year I was waiting, those months, I think it's 2017, right? Yeah, it was right at that time when I was discovering all the stuff that I'm, you know, so involved in now. Right, go sit here. This is like the only superstitious thing I still do. I don't think it's harmful. I know it's magic. That's a thought and intention. That's a ritual right there. And what are you gonna do? You know, you're doing stuff like that all day. I mean, a ritual, really, to do some kind of thing that you do all the time for, again, you fucking know what a ritual is, just thought and intention, which is like what, you know, thought, intention. Yeah, thought, intention, and movement. I'm sorry. I left movement out of the first time I explained this. That must have sounded retarded. Yeah, it's thought and intention. Yeah, no shit. But how does that make it real? Thought and intention and movement. The movement being me throwing the thing in. That's like, that's legit kind ritual. That's legit ritual. The mind and the body working together. But yeah, I used to be super superstitious, and that went away too, along with my eyes just miraculously repairing themselves. And that could have happened because of diet changes, I guess. I don't know. The extreme, it wasn't like I just, you know, had a little bit of a problem. That's why I kept the glasses too, because it's unbelievable. You put them on and you're in a fun house, you know. So that's a kind of a big recovery, and I noticed a lot of things happening like that around that time where I started to figure out what was going on. There was just stuff that manifested outside the tertiary, in the tertiary of things, you know, like a couple other health things, just little weird gains, you know, that happened in that time. I think it's just your brain saying, well, you, not your brain just runs the suit. You're thinking about things that you probably never thought of before. These are neural pathways that have been obscured, not for your benefit. And I think when you wake up to thinking that way, I hate using the term wake up because that's retarded. I don't like using that. But when you begin to understand, you're all of a sudden you're thinking about stuff that you may never thought of before, and in the context you're thinking of it in. And what that does is it's like going into another house. You're going to another house. It's a house you've never been in, and there's doors everywhere. So you could go into different rooms that you've never been in. It's kind of like that. Was that awful, or is that like, that's okay? It's a little embarrassing, but it's not bad. So yeah, you're just thinking of stuff you never thought of before, and here we have to use again. It wakes up like parts of your body. There's this thing that happens, or it's been happening for a couple of years. I've tried to describe it before, but when you're about to sneeze or you're about to yawn, right, you get this feeling that's so strong that it just kind of takes over your system and you got to go with it. Sneezing, the same thing. But a second before the actual thing happens, there's a feeling in your body like, oh, this is the thing I do, and this happens. I started getting that, and it would just end because it couldn't go where, it was like the body was preparing for something that I do, or that I can do, and it just kind of got shut down on the way to it. It starts like, oh, I'm gonna sneeze? No. Yawn? No. What the fuck's happening? And it's gone. It doesn't seem to have progressed any since I started noticing this. It's like there's a process, who knows what it is, maybe some kind of physical, maybe it's more than one, I'm sure it's probably more than one, that you're just used to doing, that you can do, that you instinctively your body kind of instinctively starts doing, like when you're about to sneeze or something. And for whatever reason, the action of whatever this precursor feeling is never sprung. It's never, it like, there's nothing there. Almost like it was erased or something. Like it used to be there. The idea of how to, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but yeah, I've gotten that a lot. So when I say like weird, along the fringes kind of thing, it's stuff like that. It's like, what is that? And there's a lot of stuff like that. And not just with me, but like other people. And some people have experienced things I haven't, vice versa. That's why it's important to exchange information. I have a neighbor over here, I think I talked about him the other day. He's been here for years. It's probably as long as I have. Years, whatever, almost a decade. And he's one of the few IRL people I can discuss this with. I got a small group of people that know about these subjects. Some more versed, some less versed in some of the aspects or the topics. But everybody's on the same page enough to be able to have a conversation. And if something sounds too out there, they're at least going to be open-minded to it and say, well, what is that? Because I've had that happen too, where, I'd be like, what, I'd hear something, a phrase or a concept or an idea. So it's important to talk to each other. That's why I like having when people comment in the comment, I like to talk to them, Well, I know most of you guys anyway, that come here on a regular basis anyway. And that's cool, Sometimes when I'll get a comment that's really good. I get a lot. That's one thing about my comment section. I don't get a lot of comments, but I get some really fucking epic ones. Some people might look at it and be like, not your blog, but to me, I like it, but then it's like, well, I want to give an answer equal to the thought and work this guy put into it. You know, and then that could be, you could feel a little sad about that. Or at least I do. I'm like, fuck, I just don't know. What do I'd just be saying the same thing he's saying. So I always try to answer, but I love getting comments because I get a lot of information that way. You know, that's where the energy should go into. Not trying to have other people kind of get on board, because that's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to do that. It's, you know, very, very rare that you could do that. Of course, if you can, you know, do it. But I don't think you're going to have many, if any, opportunity to wake someone up in that way, to understand that there's a spiritual war happening and it's all that stuff ended up being real. It ended up being real. I didn't see that one coming at all. I didn't see that one coming at all. And I was just thinking about the other day when, you know, it finally all clicked. For me, it didn't click all at once. It was like a cumulative process. Like, oh, yeah. So that by the time I recognized that that was a factual idea or statement, I'd already been warmed up by all the other craziness, so that when I got there, I'm just like, oh yeah, of course, you know? And I think that's how it has to work. And that's why I think it's so hard to spread it, to inform other people. Just because the nature of the way the information controls itself. There's a sentience there, you know? Or magic and sentience, or sentience and magic. Or sentience magic. That's something I just came up with. Now I gotta work on that sentience magic. You know what? That's probably a thing. There's probably some guy in the UK. There's always some guy in the UK. But yeah, that's why it's so hard to explain things to people. They don't want to hear it. You have to receive the information in a specific way, or it's not going to go in. And that's why it's a waste of time for us to do it, to try to do it. So the energy should be put toward communication. Hey, I noticed this when this happens, or something about the moon, or something about that, you know, their own bodies, their lives, and then I learned something from you about something, and you learned something from me about something. So the next time something in that bubble, in that area of things happen, when it happens to you, you can be like, oh, okay, no, that's this, because I talked to him. That's how it's worked for me. Just like, it's almost like the same thing you would do if you were in like a fan community or something. Okay? You know what I mean? It's the same kind of thing. Yeah, people's minds are just fucking gone. Like, you'll sit with people and you'll talk to them about, like, if it's a band you like or something, like you're a fan of something. It's just exchanging information like the same way. It's just that this is something that there's far fewer people you can exchange the information with, you know what I mean? So what happens is things like a comment section become very valuable. I think that's it. It's fucking nice out though. It's kind of lingering a little bit because it's nice. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it for now. I'll be back later with some other kind of bullshit, you know.
Okay.
Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.